I'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity Top Gun Sales Boot Camp Training, and this is a little different one. Top Gun Sales Boot Camp Training is it's not just about sell. It's everything we do is selling. We're selling our values. Everybody's a salesperson. Everybody's a salesperson in everything that they're doing. Husbands are selling to their wives are selling to their husbands, kids are selling to their parents, parents are selling to the kids. Like everybody's selling all the time. We're selling everything. It's just so that's important. There's in the pre-show, you always want to come early, stay late. Definitely register for as much as you can. Don't register for more. The higher the level, don't do that. Um, and so we're talking about Elaine. And so she's Amish uh, woman, wife, mother of five kids. And so when we moved to Bristol, Indiana, they're just down the street from us. And so, we brought in over 500-ton boulder. If you can go Riverside Retreats. We have a couple events there a year. Look for those and come meet us meet you, and it'd be fun. Anyways, so did that for a couple years, and that was really interesting to do that. They had a Bobcat, so we rented the Bobcat. So got to know them, Ira and Elaine. And first time I saw Elaine, I'm like, man, that that girl, that woman, she's an amazing mom. She reminds me a lot of my mom, so she's pretty direct, and I love that a lot. Uh, a lot of people don't, but I do a lot. And she's very strong with her children. Like she's like my mom was, very strong. Um, and um, and so she has five kids. There's farm animals, a whole bunch of things, and her husband works in the RV factory. He's a great guy, like Ira a lot, and so amazing couple, um, amazing couple, and so like I'm like I'd love to work with her, but obviously with a farm and animals and everything. Um, she's not going to have time for a part-time job. And so I'm like, obviously, no, I'm not. Yeah. I mean, our marriage comes first, kids come next, and so economic engine. So out of respect, I'm just like, yeah. And I'm thinking, yeah, she's not interested in a job in working. She's not interested in that. And then out of nowhere, she gets a job at Subway, up the street. I'm like, what? So, and I didn't know her that well at the time. I mean, I didn't like, um, and oh, another thing before that, there was, her teenage son was working. He's probably, Timothy, he was probably, I don't know, 13 at the time, 12, 13 maybe. And he and I were doing boulders by the river. And, laying them down and he says, yeah, I don't know. He and I were talking. Somehow I said, yeah, there's a there's a word for women who gossip, like they get together and gossip. It's called glucan. And he's like, oh yeah, yeah. My mom, she doesn't do glucan anymore. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. I said, why is that? And he says, she says it's a waste of time. I said, now I really like her. Like, get together and gossip. It's like that's really against the Bible to do that. I mean, it just saying it is. So, um, the gossip. And so, anyways, it was fascinating to me. A couple of things that Amish had a word for gossip. A group of women getting together and doing glucan and gossiping. And so I'm like, okay, she's definitely like my mom. My mom was not into gossip, And so, but then she got a job at Subway. And so I had Rosanna, talk to her and found out that the hours at the factory went down. So she said, I'm going to contribute to financially to the um, to the household. So guys, men out there, if you're not married, thinking about getting married, you definitely want a wife like that. Like I was raised Baptist, very conservative. You know, the how the so I'm provide for the home. And Rosanna's never had to work outside the home in the 41 years we've been married. Um, but she has helped with the business. She's a hard worker, physically. So she's not lazy. Like she's not lazy. She works. She's a hard worker. It's probably one of the mistakes that I made with my kids that I didn't teach them to have a hardworking spouse. You know, so a couple of my kids, it's just like, yeah. And if a man, the only thing worse than a lazy wife is a lazy husband. Like, what a mess. So, anyways, I said, she didn't know computers, she didn't know any of that kind of stuff, and so I'm like, well, if she's working outside the home, and so it was funny because I'm like, well, if she's working outside the home, I'd love her to work. So I talked to Roseanne. It's just her and I. We don't have any kids. Like, do we need a house maker? No. What do you call it, Kenny? That I'm supposed to, anyways. So I went ahead and Kenny asked me the other day if I had one. I'm like, not yet, but working on getting one. Um, and so I'm like, hey, maybe Rosanna could use, maybe she could use some help around the house. And so, I said to Rosanna, hey, if you want to talk to Elaine about working around the house and cleaning and, doing window, whatever. And she came to me. It's funny because Rosanna used to own a residential cleaning business, residential commercial cleaning business. So we clean people's houses and business, both. And so I always thought it's kind of a waste. Like there's only two of us. Why? But anyways, I want to work with Elaine, and she needed money. That's fine. And I love that her attitude was, I'm going to help my husband out. So guys, find a woman that's willing to go ahead because you might need it. You might need it. If you're a business owner, you definitely are going to need it. You might not need her to work outside the house, but you're going to need her to work really hard, in the house. And it helps if she's willing to work in the business too. She's not willing to work in the business. I mean, the things about, the Bible about being a lazy person is there's a lot of stuff. And there's not just lazy physically, there is hard work, physical hard work, there's emotional hard work, spiritual hard work, moral hard work, relational hard work. There's a whole bunch of, you want somebody who works hard in everything. Like you just want a hard worker. You just do. And so, then Elaine started doing stuff. Roseanne's like, do you mind if she does the windows? I'm like, I don't care, honey. Like, do whatever you want to do. Like, she's working, I don't know, 5-10 hours a week. Like, yeah, whatever you want her to do. So then, Rosanna started having her do some book work or some other stuff, helping her out with some of the business stuff. And Elaine seemed to take to that really good. And then it's like, so Elaine went ahead and I don't know, I got to know her a little bit through Rosanna and stuff. And then the clean windows, starting to write a book on that. And that was inspired through Elaine, so we have a beautiful home overlooking a beautiful property and a river and stuff. And she cleaned the windows and I'm like, whoa, that was really cool. Like, and then I wondered about life. So the title of the book is Clean Windows, Learning to See Things We Can't See. And so biblically, the older women are supposed to teach the younger women, older men are supposed to teach younger men. Unfortunately, a lot of older men and women don't know how to do that, aren't willing to do that, don't press in. It's like, and a lot of younger men and women, they think they got it figured out. It's like, copy that. Okay. Like, yepper, hope you do. And so, you know, so anyways, there was more work we had for her. Like she's picking up what Rosanna's doing, helping out Rosanna, which I appreciate. She's helping out Rosanna like crazy. And there's more work. And I said to her, I said, hey, Elaine, you do know you can go ahead and like we got enough work. You can give up the subway stuff, right? And she's like, well, yeah, I think I ought to continue work there. I'm like, okay, why is that? And she's like, because there's teenage workers there. I'm like, okay. She's like, they need me. I'm like, well, like they need a mom figure, they need a figure that of wisdom, like this is how you work and this is what you do and this and this and this and this. And so I'm like, how do I argue with that? Like, okay. So so I waited, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months longer until God took care of that situation. And so, which I was thankful for. I'm like, okay, good. Because you could use a lot more of her. And so so guys, you want a wife like Elaine. Be honest and direct with you, but willing to work and step up and lean in and do the things that's necessary. And so questions, anybody?
How do we make that determination
What do you mean?
in a wife?
You mean if she's going to be a hard worker?
Yes.
Well, like Rosanna, she worked her way through college. Well, she went ahead and was working. I had a cleaning bit job. I was a custodian when I was in college. It's what got me through college. And she was willing to work. And so is she willing to come beside you and work? If she's not willing to come beside you and work, like, do you want to be married to her? Do you want to spend the rest of your life? So Roseanne, I think a lot of people are um, harsh on Roseanne and I. I don't think they realize, you know, how hard we've worked at our marriage. Like we've worked together for 41 years. like, like, and so we worked together before the kids came along, went to college together, and then we worked, Future Unlimited together, which was a computer company, and then Grandma B's cleaning services. And then, she went ahead and, I was the treasurer of the church. And so she, but I needed help on that because I needed the business. And so you can just tell, are they willing to go ahead and work with you? If they're not willing to work with you, yeah, you might want to take another look. Or maybe you're not ready to be married. I don't know. Maybe she's not ready. Maybe he's not. Maybe she's not ready to be married. And so working hard um, physically to contribute. Rosanna's really hard worker. Holy cow, is she a hard worker? Like, she plays pickleball. I play pickleball now, but she can put in a 15-hour day. And she doesn't go ahead and mind. She doesn't mind doing that. Like she'll be working downstairs in her office, overlooking the river. I'm working upstairs, and we might be working till 8 and 9 o'clock at night. Even now, we don't even need to. Neither of us need to, but we both do. You know, and so, but then I think she's an amiable, analytic personality. I'm a driver, analytic personality. And so I think she would say that I think amiable is lazy in relationships. Why is that, Mark? Because they just tell people what they want to hear. So Elaine doesn't tell people what they want to hear. She's not as direct as I am yet. I'm trying to get her to be. She has so much wisdom and so much insight and so much understanding. It's insane. And so the question, Kenny asked is, how do you know if a, was it, how do you know if a woman's a hard worker? Is that what it is? Or was there?
Yes.
Yeah. So you just look at her. You just look at her and you can just tell it's not that hard. And so Rosanna worked when she was, in high school. She went ahead and worked when she was in college, you know, um, and when she didn't have kids, she was still working. And then when she had kids, she worked the kids. But, and it's not, she would probably say that she struggles with, she struggles with honesty, being honest. She struggles with, she struggles with confrontation. So she'll avoid things. And so yesterday we had our annual Easter egg hunt, and on the way home from church, it could have gotten really messy, but she's learning. She's learning, and so, I don't know if I don't know. Kenny was there and Nora was there, and so I don't know. I mean, I think it was fine, but so so all four personalities can be lazy. The driver can't be lazy with relational. If they do, they won't have any friends, which they're fine with. Like whatever. Um, so you can just, I don't know, you just pay attention. And so you want to find, if you're younger, you want to find, you know, you want to find. I mean, I remember when I was in my 20s and we had just gotten married, and I sought out couples that had 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of marriage because I wanted to know, I wanted to get input. Often the amiable doesn't want to go ahead and have input. They just got it figured out. It's like, okay. So of the four personalities, the amiable is the most stubborn of the four. This does not work out in a marriage well. And the driver is going to be most direct. So often drivers, you know, um, so amiables are going to be attracted to drivers. And so 75% of drivers are going to be men, 25% of women are going to be drivers. If you have the reverse situation where you have like an amiable, 75% of amiables are going to be women. So if you have a man like who's an amiable, he's going to go ahead and, he's going to be likely drawn to a woman who's a driver. He just will. And so, other questions from you guys?
What about vice versa? How does a woman know that a man's a hard worker?
So Rosanna said to me, so we were best friends in college. Like we were like brother and sister. She's like a sister that I never had. I had two sisters, but wasn't close to them. Um, but oh my gracious, we were best friends. And so I knew that she liked me a lot. And so, she went ahead and, my brother's, then girlfriend who became fiance and wife, she was, Mark, hey, you need to go ahead and marry. You need to look at Rosanna. She's very interested. Yeah, well, we're good friends. So nope, not interested. Um, and so I wasn't interested. She was. So she dated other guys. And there was a goofball that she dated, not real bad. He ended up being a pastor, but he wasn't her caliber for sure. And after she broke up with him, and so she said the thing that won her heart is, so I'm fairly, driven by sports. Like sports are a pretty big thing for me. Like and being on time, and like when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, like integrity, all of those kind of things. And so she said the thing that won her heart was she hurt her foot or ankle or something, and it was Saturday, and I took her to the clinic, and we were just friends, like we were just friends. So there's no romantic, there's just friends, and and so I took her to the clinic, and I didn't go play basketball. When I was at the clinic, she's like, "You can go play basketball." Like, we played basketball every Saturday, and I enjoyed playing, and I didn't. I'm like, so did I want to be at the clinic with her? No, but she didn't know that because it's just the right thing to do. That's what friends do. Friends just do that. Like, it's like, it wasn't hard. It was like, oh, this is hard. No, friends just do that. It's like, really? And that's the thing that just absolutely grabbed her heart. So is a guy willing to go ahead and give up the things that he enjoys? So playing golf. When I was in the mortgage industry, I went ahead and played golf a lot, like 3 times a week. And then every, then I went ahead and left the sales position, the VP of sales position I was in, and I went and ahead and started my own company. And I gave up, golf. It wasn't hard. It's just the right thing to do. So is a man willing to give up something that that he enjoys tremendously for his wife and his kids? So I felt God wanted me to go ahead and be a business owner. There's a lot about being a business owner that I hate, even to this day. Like, I hate working with stupid people. I hate working with people that, don't have integrity. I hate working with people that are selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed, narcissistic, and they don't even realize it. They are so clueless. It is insane. I hate working with guys that go ahead and it's like they think they're so smart. They're not. They're just not. And they think they're giving and loving, and they're not. They're just not. They're imposters. I hate doing that. So there's so much about, but it's like, so I'm going to go ahead and pursue what God's put on my heart to do. My wife supported that. There's in 34 years of owning Synergy, there's been 3 times that my wife has said, "Can't you go get a real job?" Like, she's just exhausted. She's just like, "This is so hard. This is so hard." I'm like, "Honey, I can't. I'm willing to. But you know me. You know me. And when I'm working for somebody else, I'm working. When I was in high school and I was a teenage boy, I'm like I always showed up on time and I worked hard. And if I didn't like it, I figured out how to make it, how to enjoy it. And I said, so they're going to take over my life, honey. I mean, I'm going to probably travel, and I can travel. I travel now, don't enjoy it, but I take one of the kids with me, or I take you with me. And so I was willing to give up the company and go get a real job. But there's a price to pay for that too. And she's like, as soon as I submitted, she's like, "Oh, she's like, okay, no. What can I do to help?" So she got back on board. I mean, in 34 years, it's not too bad. That's 3 times. And it's just hard. It's just hard work. It's just hard work. And so if your life is going to be significant, it's going to be hard work. And so I'm willing. I mean, up until, when I, like, I don't know what I did, started playing basketball and riding my bike 7, 8, 9 years ago. But before that, it was all work. All I did, Rosanna's like, "You need to get a hobby." I'm like, "It's fine. My business is my hobby." Like, I just gave up everything for my business, my wife, and my kids. So even though I'm working, 70, 80, 90, 110-hour weeks, I mean, I'm going to make it a priority to have a date night every single week with my wife. I'm going to have a family night. But, she went ahead and she carried a huge load. I mean, once when we had a podcast and Tom Kuntz, out of the blue, it was weird. Like, out of the blue, Tom's like speaking to the group. And he's like, the group of people. And he's like, I don't know that anybody here I don't know that people realize the gift that Mark's giving us right now, and the wisdom and experience and everything else that he's sharing with us. And he says, I don't think people realize the sacrifice that Rosanna and the kids have made to enable Mark to do what he's doing with us now. And I just started crying now, even like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. And I still, because he understood my wife and the sacrifice she made, and my kids, they've made a sacrifice too. But, I worked so a husband who wants to have his own company, he might have to give up basketball or pickleball or golf or hunting or, adventures or other types of things for a season of life. Now I play pickleball fine. I play so much pickleball, I'm fine. Like, could you ever get sick of something you love doing? Like, I don't know. And so if a husband's not willing, so Rosanna saw that as a teenage boy, as an 18-year-old boy. She saw, here's a guy that's willing to give up something he really enjoys for a friend. Like, he's not whining. Does that answer your question, Luke, or not? So if you can't do that,
Yes.
if you can't do that for one another, like, it's like when Nora went ahead and said, we're a team. She just absolutely, just absolutely for the coffee connection. Like, why are you here, Nora? You're not, you're running on no sleep and Lincoln's not feeling good. And you're like, why are you here? And she's like, we're a team. People don't understand that. They just don't. I mean, Elaine's the same way. Like, she's the same way. It's like, you're a team. And so often the people you think are going to be the best, the most loving and care, they're not. They're just talk. And the ones that don't talk, they just do. Those are going to be the best. And so, you know, we deviated from the sales Top Gun. So Top Gun is about life, being Top Gun in everything. It's not just about sales, it's about life. Like like I want to be the best at what I do. I want to be the best business owner. I want to be the best leader. I want to be the best husband. I want to be the best father. I want to be the best grandfather. I want to be the best friend somebody could have. And that takes work and it takes sacrifice. And it doesn't get easier. As you get older, you think, oh, it's going to get easier. It doesn't. It actually doesn't. It gets harder. And so, you know, the goofball song, I mean, it's like people don't get it. Like, you think about it. Like, I talked to another lady on Saturday, and her son's having huge emotional issues, and he's an adult, so she's probably my age-ish, maybe a little younger, but mental health issues, and so it's the people, and so this song on the goofball, this one's written specifically. You know, this one's written specifically for men who are goofballs, but women can be goofballs too. You can substitute. You wanted a husband, but not, like here it says you wanted a wife, but not a man's role. You can say this to a woman easily. You wanted a husband, but not a wife's role. You wanted kids, but not a mother's soul. You wanted love, but you wouldn't grow. You wanted to be something, but you chose to be nothing because you're just selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed. So A woman can see something in a man that often a man he believes in him when nobody else does, except Mark. Mark, like you're creating God's image for crying out loud. You're special. You just are. It's not like you are. You just are. Like Mark sees that. Like with most men, you know, it takes a woman to go ahead. Like Rosanna believed in me, like before others did, and so you know. So you talk about falling in love here. You know, fall in love with you, or maybe it's who you could have been. A husband. I mean, I can see this from a man to a woman's perspective. You made me feel complete. My dreams turned into pain again. You wanted love, but not love. You think you're loving. You think this is where older women teaching younger women, you're selfish, sweetheart. You just are. You're just a selfish girl. You chase the feeling, but not the truth. Now I see you're just a girl hiding in a woman's shoes. This can be flipped so easily. And so it can be. You know, you're sweet in the early days, but only for the feeling you get. This can be both sides. It can be a husband. And so, you know, I was talking yesterday, I think it was yesterday or over the weekend to somebody, and it's like, can you get a husband and wife that it always seems that one of them is a goofball? And what would it be like if they were both like if they both really realized you're not that smart, you're not that caring, you're not that loving, you're not that giving. Like what if you had two humble, a husband and wife who were both humble and both gave and didn't take advantage of the other, didn't become entitled to certain things. So I'm pretty hard on men. You know, pretty hard on men. But my daughters, I can be, their dad can bring the heat on them. Like, don't be a princess, girls. I mean, once in a while on your birthday, I mean, other like it's okay, but even then, you're still concerned about other people. And so depending on who I'm talking to, if I'm talking to mostly men, I'm like, you know, man, if you become the man you created to be, it's a lot easier for women around you to be, but that's not guaranteed. Like that is, I can assure you, that's not guaranteed. It's insane. I mean, it is insane. Another topic for another time. So I tend to be really hard on men. On women, I tease them a lot, but you know, women, yeah. Um, Other questions, guys?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, I mean, like I want women. I've been looking. My dad, a pastor. You guys all know that. If you've been through the other, like, like my dad's a pastor, so very Baptist, very Bible. So I want women to step up. You know, I want women to step up, older women to step up and teach younger women. But I'm telling you, how older women treat younger women, it's a shame. It's just absolutely, it's just crazy. But how younger women treat older women, oh my great, it's. I mean, we go to my wife and I, and the kids are pretty much out of the house. I guess there was one or two maybe left, but we went to a concert at our church. It was an outdoor concert, and there we had a small group. We had a small group, and so we went there. And Rosanna, there's this young couple, and she's pregnant, you know, and they were in our small group, so they were friends of ours. They were friends of ours. We went to small group every week, and you know, and all kinds of stuff. And Rosanna, she goes ahead, you know, there's this 2-year-old, there's this little 2-year-old girl that is, you know, and Rosanna sees that mom's exhausted. So she volunteers. She just steps in and says, would you like me to take your daughter, to, play in the, play in the play area? And the mom's like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Rosanna takes her and plays with the little girl for, I don't know, 20 minutes and then brings her back. And what's this cute pregnant mom do? She dishes the baby off, the 2-year-old off to the dad. Says, hey, can you watch this? Which is fine. You know what? That's fine. But then she says, I'm going to go be with my friends. And she just leaves my wife there. Oh, that girl? Like, that girl? I'll use the word, I was pissed. I'm like, you treat my wife that way? Man, was I hot. Holy cow. I'm like, I look at my wife, I look at her, and Rosanna could tell, man, Mark's going to light her up. She goes over and she talks to a bunch of other moms that have little kids and leaves my wife hanging. Are you kidding? You ungrateful, unthankful, self-righteous bee. Like, man, I'm not happy. I am doing everything I can to contain myself. I'm like, I'm going over there. She's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, nope, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to tell those 4 or 5 good Christian women that think they got their life together. I'm like, how dare you disrespect my wife like that? Like, what are you, right in front of the whole church? Goofballs. Oh, was I mad? Cheapers. It's like, it's fine. I'm like, it's not fine, honey. You have 7 kids, 3 boys, 4 girls. Those girls over there that think they're cute, everything. Like, really? How dare you treat my wife like that? She backed me down. I submitted. Don't know if I should have or not. Didn't get kicked out of that church. But man, like, those girls are just stupid. They're just stupid. They're just stupid. So when you have somebody, like an Elaine, when you have somebody like a Ginger Ann, when you have somebody like a Rosanna, like, you should talk to them. What they've been through, what they've been through and the things. So if a younger woman is not willing to go ahead and do that, and what younger women do is they game the system and they find older women who will support what they think, and they know how to do it just like kids do. They're just like kids. And younger men are the same way. Nora, sorry we kind of hijacked the whole. Did you have anything? What's your numbers?
No, don't have anything. 36% for
You go,
last week.
girl. So I think it's 2 weeks in a row, right around that. So we're working on it. We've had some technology stuff, and so Nora's at the Cheapers. Like, she's the tip of the spear, and so it's awesome that she's doing what she's doing. And yeah, good. Kenny, your numbers?
I don't know.
Luke, your numbers?
Don't know either.
So Alvin, it's funny, Alvin, like I say, I suck as a team builder. He says, maybe it's not you, Mark. He says, maybe it's the team members you're leading that suck. I'm like, yeah, I hope it's not the case, because I don't know. They're the best team I've ever worked with in my life. That might not be saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And so, like another PB church moment. It's like David. He goes ahead, and that's the leader I've always wanted. When I was in my 20s, I'm like, I want to be a leader like David. Like, David goes ahead and his men putting their lives on the line, and he says, hey, he's just talking and reminiscing about when he was a boy, when it wasn't at war and there wasn't killing and all kinds of messy stuff. And he's just like, I'd like to drink, of the brook from the water. And it's like they break through enemy lines. They put their lives at risk to give their leader a drink of water. Are you kidding? I can't even get guys that I'm leading. I can't even get them to do things that are beneficial to them. Like, this is going to benefit you. Like, it's not about me. You just look at it. It's just goofy. It's just weird. It's like when you think, look at the advice that I'm giving people. Like, how much of it benefits me? It's for benefit. People won't even do what's benefiting them. I'm like, are you kidding? Cheapers. Oh, this has been kind of a divergent one, but hopefully beneficial. It's about life. It's about, you're creating God's image. You're really special. You're amazing. You really are. You really are. But you have to make a choice to live in that. Like, it's not going to just be given to you on a silver platter. You have got to work hard on it. So hopefully this was beneficial. Always remember we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.